Hey, welcome to episode 746 of today's Antidote. And all week we've been talking about preparing our pathway. And today we're going to figure out what our discoveries of the week are. And I've got to tell you, I'm still confused from yesterday's episode. So I'm hoping we can make sense of that and a whole lot more coming up on today's Antidote.
Stay tuned for today's Antidote, brought to you by the Renegade Success Network. Today's Antidote features a healthy dose of thought-provoking insights and information for business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, and nonprofit professionals. Each day since March of 2020, this program has offered that one thing to help you continue on your own unique pathway to success. And now, Renegades, we bring you Bob Graham and Tom Brush.
Hey, Tom.
Good morning, Bob. How are you today?
I'm good. It's Friday. It's been an interesting week.
Yes, it has. Like
I've been cooped up at home all week because of COVID. So I think I get to spring free tomorrow. So I will be doing cartwheels outside of my bunker to
You're not going to leave early? I'm going to sneak out tonight.
No.
Look at you, the rule follower.
I'm a conformist. Come on. I'm an oldest child. Always have been. Always have been an oldest child.
So that mean you've always been a conformist as well, or no?
For the most part, I follow the rules. I like to get up right on the edge of the line.
Okay.
So yeah. So let's not go there.
Okay. Fair enough.
That's not going to help us get where we need to go. That's a whole separate pathway for which we are not prepared.
Well, as we said yesterday, you can never really be completely prepared.
Oh, we're going to come back to that. Don't.
All right. Good morning, everyone.
At the start, Tom, before we even go anywhere, I want to remind people at 10 a.m. Eastern time today, January 6, 2023, we have a big announcement in our Facebook group, in the Ring of Renegades Facebook group. You got to be in that group at 10 a.m. If you can't be there at 10 a.m., hey, you know what? You can catch the replay later in the day. But the only place you're going to see it is in the Ring of Renegades Facebook group. It's really good stuff. We're doing some really exciting things. I can't wait to tell people. You'll be there talking. I'll be there nodding while you talk. It's going to be great.
Yes, very exciting. So if you're not yet a member of that group, it's easy to join.
Just go to Facebook.
Yeah, thanks. Just go to Facebook, search for Ring of Renegades, and all you have to do is ask to join, tell us why you're a renegade, and then you can be a part of our growing community that we are excited to offer some suggestions and new thoughts and a new pathway for those who are looking to be a leader and have more confidence and really find the strategies that they need to be able to move forward along their own unique pathway to success. So we'll look forward to that announcement at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Now we're on to our show. Each day, Bob and I have a conversation around a topic. And today, on Friday, we always do our discoveries of the week. So we will continue the conversation and share some of our discoveries, some of the things we've identified throughout this week and throughout the conversation. So if you have things that you have discovered that you'd like to share, please feel free to put them in the comments of whatever social media you happen to be following us on, whether that is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, or
LinkedIn Live, baby.
Yes, LinkedIn Live, baby. Because we know that'll add value to our show and might be that thing, just that thing that someone else is looking for. You may have a discovery that we didn't have or haven't shared. And it might be exactly what someone is looking for. So please feel free to share your thoughts and ideas. And you never know, while you're sharing yours in the comments, or you might get in the comments from someone else, just exactly what you've been searching for to help you figure out how to take your next step along your own unique pathway to success. So please feel free to share your thoughts and ideas. Before, though, we dive into our discoveries of the week, each day, Bob and I share our celebrations. Bob, what are you celebrating today?
So I've been working on a project. I don't think you even know about this, to tell you the truth, Tom. I've been working on a project to create a new speaker's reel for my speaking. And, you know, when you're a speaker, you have to have a reel that sort of shows your highlights of what you've done. And I've been trying to put that together in my mind, and I finally woke up super early this morning, like at 3:40, and I was in bed and rolling around and thinking, and it hit me. The first line of it hit me, and I just sat there and typed it out on my phone, which I hate to do. I hate typing things out on my phone, but I was afraid to get up and lose the flow. So with my cat on my chest, trying to figure out why I was doing this at 3:40 in the morning when I usually am telling him to go back to sleep, he's clawing at my arm and I'm typing with my thumbs, trying to get this thing down. And I actually got something that I think is workable, which makes me much relieved. You know how that is. Sometimes you have something that's weighing on you and you've got to take a step. And the step was, it finally clicked at 3:20, 3:30 this morning that boom, this is what needs to be. And I started to create it. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that's great. I did that once. I wrote down like a whole potential speech, or at least the major outline of it, presentation, lying in bed because I couldn't sleep. And that's all I could think about. Still have it on the notes on my phone. Haven't used it yet. What I need to do is figure out how to leverage it. So
there you go.
That's a good thing.
There you go. All right. Nice. What about you?
What about me? Today, I am celebrating.
I love how it's a surprise to you some days.
No, I just have to really. I could think about it differently, and be. I could prepare for this, and then and even if even though I do,
one could argue, Tom, that your lack of being prepared for this would suggest that you are not in the celebratory mode each day, that this takes effort for you to do.
I guess you could make that argument. I'm not sure. I like to look at it as there are lots of things that I celebrate. And especially now that as we've talked about actions and talk about little things, quote unquote, little things that are worth celebration. So there's a lot that I'm celebrating. And so it's just trying to figure out which is the one that may have the most value for everyone else.
I don't think about the value to everyone else. I think about the value to me.
Well, I think about that all the time as I'm doing my little celebration.
Wait, you mean we're supposed to do this program for other people?
Well,
is that what our big announcement at 10 o'clock is? That we're going to start doing this for other people? Wow. I didn't sign up for that. This is about me. It's always about me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. No, I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to celebrate the work that we have done for the announcement that we're going to do today, because it did take there was a lot of planning that went into it. There was a lot of trying to do some preparation for what's going to happen. And, and again, as I think about it, I'm excited. And I know that things won't go exactly the way that I wanted them to, because we could never be fully prepared for that. I'm just excited about what we have done to this point and that we're taking the step to do it. That's my celebration.
Okay. I like that. That's good.
All right.
So we've been talking all week about this pathway preparation, preparing our pathway, and the pathway, whatever that is, your pathway to getting free of your job, finding a new job, quitting your job, getting new employees, it can be anything, improving your golf game, making a better Friday night dinner plan with your family. Who knows? Doesn't matter. There's a certain amount of preparation that goes into everything. Where you and I think this week have diverged, I'll say it that way, is that I think you need to prepare, and you have to prepare and get to a point where you feel prepared to have the confidence to move forward on something. And I think what I heard, because I went back and I watched all the episodes this week again, what I think I heard you saying is we can do a certain amount, but we can never be prepared. And my fear is that if you say that to me, when you say that to me, and I believe it, but when you say it to me, it makes me feel like I can't be confident, because the unexpected is what scares me. So what would you say to that?
What I would say is that I think what just like I said, something's going to happen at 10 o'clock today that wasn't a part of my preparation, that I didn't, because I have never done this exact thing.
You mean the bagpipes I've ordered to come to your house to do the announcement?
Well, yeah. So that's something new and different that I have never really done. And so since I've never done it, there's a chance, there's a likelihood that something won't go the way that I had planned. And I'm okay with that. And I think it's the confidence in knowing that things are not going to go as planned. They're not. I'm okay with that. And I think that if we're trying to get to the point where we say we're prepared, we don't acknowledge that there are things that can happen. And that's when the things that happen derail us more. If I'm expecting that something is not going to go the way I thought, it won't surprise me when it does. It'll be like, oh, yeah, there it is. And I'll I'll find my way to getting through it. And accepting that, you know what, since I had never done this before, I could never imagine that would have been the thing at that time that had that impact. And be like, okay, now I know that that's something that could happen. Hadn't thought about that. In my preparations the next time, I'll be like, remember that's just what happened. Maybe this is something that how could I prepare differently for that to happen? So I think that's, to me, the confidence piece. I think that moves beyond the feeling like you're ready for anything. How can we truly be ready for anything?
But we did a lot of preparation for this big announcement at 10 a.m.
Absolutely.
We had a meeting on Wednesday. We had a second meeting yesterday. We watched a template of sort of something similar to get some ideas.
Yep.
I would say we're ready. We're prepared. We go into that knowing that what we're trying to achieve, how we're going to achieve it. Now, yes, things could go astray. They probably will. But I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not going to think about that, because if I start to think about, well, what if you say the wrong thing, or what if I do the wrong thing? I have no confidence. And as a result, I'll go into it and it'll be like, oh no, hi, this is Bob. That's Tom. I'm scared. I'm so scared. This is horrible. I mean, one of the things about this program that I think is you and I've gotten to a place where we're comfortable enough with each other and with the process that even though we're not fully prepared, I have no idea what's going to happen with each episode. We have a structure for it. And we know when it goes off track and we know when it goes on track. And I think that's really important. I think if I'm running a business or leading a team, I've got to have a framework by which I'm prepared. I've got to have the agenda for the meeting. I've got to have a time for the meeting, a location for the meeting. I've got to have, if it's a long day meeting, I've got to have a plan for lunch. I can't just go, oh, it's 12:15. Everyone come back at 12:45. And there's no lunch plan, right? Now, I'm going to take a break, Tom, because Edward has dropped in with a nugget. I've found that in the 3 a.m. hour is the holy hour, set apart hour. Even the Bible mentions this. This hour at the beginning of the day has profound numerological insights. Numerological. That's a hard word to say today. Insights and instructions. That brings us to a point of resolution. I like that. Now, here's my question. Is it 3? What?
I wish it was at 7 a.m.
It would probably make our program better, wouldn't it?
It would make it different.
And while we're shooting through comments, I see my sister Beth has joined us. Good morning, Bob and Tom. Oh, I like when I come up first. When preparing something, you can either be over-prepared and we think of things that can go wrong, or be perfect, or you feel like you're overwhelmed and then you don't feel like you are prepared. And you'll feel like you are not comfortable and feel like a failure and won't do it. Yes. I think
I think
that's
the
my
wor-
fear, that with what you're saying, Tom, someone's going to feel overwhelmed and underprepared and they won't take action. Because if you're worried about not being fully prepared, if you're worried about what could go wrong or what could go differently than you expect, you're going to get in your head and be like, oh, you know what? It's better not to do this announcement at 10 o'clock. Because what if no one comes and listens? Right?
Okay.
That's the big fear that I have about that, frankly.
Because that's the results that you can't control. Can you control that anybody shows up at 10 o'clock? Honestly.
Apparently not. I mean, we've done everything we
not
can,
apparently.
including
Do
this
you believe
discussion.
that?
Now someone wants to know if there are actually going to be bagpipers there, so maybe someone will join us.
But you said apparently not. So that doesn't mean that you buy into the fact that you can't control people being there. You honestly believe you can control people showing up at something?
I can't
Whether
control
our 10
that.
o'clock announcement or anything else. Can you?
No, I can't control that.
Okay. So you're focused on the results. One of the results is, do
Okay.
people show up? I'm not focused on that at all. I was going to say I could care less. I care, and I know I can't control it. So I don't worry about that. Which is why, that's why I don't worry about feeling like I'm prepared. I have made preparations. I have been preparing. I don't feel like, and I feel like as long as I have put in the effort, feel comfortable where I am with it, and actually even feeling a little uncomfortable about it, that usually is a good space for me. Because then I don't go in and I'm like, I got this in the bag. It's easy. I'm completely prepared. I'm going to go in and do it, blah, 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 blah. And then something happens and I'm thrown and I have no idea what to do. If I go in saying like, I've done my preparations for this and I know that things are going to happen. So when they happen, it's like, oh yeah, there it is. So like that to me is the opportunity is to not let the things you can't control get you off the rail. Because like you said, you like to have a railing. And then when things go off the rail, it's like, I only know how to do it when it's on the rail. Which, how often does that happen? I think that's my point, is that I like that little bit of uncomfortableness that something is probably going to go astray. I like that. That helps me stay focused. It helps me know that I have to be aware of everything I'm saying so that I do the best I can to get the message across the way I want to do it. I mean, have you ever felt like, I've got this, I'm prepared, I'm ready, and then you go in and it's all over the place?
That's happened. Sure.
And I think it's because we're worried about what happens because we think we have it in the bag. That we are completely prepared and we are ready. And it's like an overconfidence that nothing can get in the way of this going perfect because I have prepared.
Okay, I'm going to break in with some more comments. I'll come back to it.
Okay.
My sister Beth tells me that my nephew Adam is going through this whole idea of preparing over preparing because he has a presentation Tuesday afternoon. What's making it even harder for Adam, Tom, and I know he would not want me to share this, is he's still struggling with the fact that he lost a $20 bet because he said that Lamar Jackson would be the MVP of the NFL this year. And that's not going to happen.
They announced the MVP of the NFL?
Well, he's not even playing. Kind of hard to win when you're not playing.
It's still possible.
Adam's going to love your optimism.
It's not optimism. It's just the reality of they haven't announced it. So it's possible, not probable.
Okay. Well, I haven't collected my $20 yet. So
if I was Adam, I wouldn't pay the $20 until they announce it. That's me.
And by the way, Adam, get up. You have school today. Get up, Adam. Get up. And then from Gene of Born to Travel, I'll be watching likely on replay. I won't be with my computer or at a place where I can be on my phone at 10 a.m. Appreciate your interest, Gene, and we look forward to you checking out our big announcement. So thank you for investing that time. Appreciate it. Okay, so back to our point. I'm struggling because I want to believe what you say. I really do, but I'm afraid that it creates too much possibility of the unknown. And as you and I both know, because we work with people all the time on this, the unknown is scary, right?
Doesn't have to be.
Well, 12 years of therapy proves to be that
why is the unknown scary? Why is the unknown scary?
Because I might not figure it out. I might not do it right. I might make a fool of myself at 10 o'clock. This program, the first 2 weeks we did this program, I was worried about making a fool of myself. Now I do it on a daily basis. So
because you stopped worried about the results, honestly.
For the most part.
Which makes it a lot easier to do it, right?
Yes.
Because you've gotten to the point, I believe, you've gotten to the point where you believe you're sharing value. No matter what, no matter all of the things that have gone not as planned in this show over 300, 400, 700, and however many episodes we've had, 746.
746.
Yes. We've had a lot of things not go as planned, correct?
Yes.
And we've found our way through that. And so now it's like, all right, all these things have happened. Yeah, and there's a good likelihood that, who knows, the internet's going to cut out something. Some of those things have already happened. So we sort of know, all right, this is what how I'm going to find my way through this challenge. And I think that now it's about the action that we're taking of sharing value. I think you believe we are sharing value every day. Whether someone is listening to it or not, and whether they comment, they say, wow, that was a great show. Or someone walks up to you and say, I was listening to your show the other day. That was awesome. I think you're now at a point where you believe there is value in this show, whether anyone tells us that or not. So you've let go of the results, which allows you just to take the action and not worry about the things that the unknown that are likely to happen.
Okay. Edward's got another comment, and he can type quickly. I don't know if he's doing it on his phone or a computer or voice to text, but he is quick. With 9 seasons leading a team as a quarterback, the entire balance of the team rests in the perception of my confidence in overcoming adversity. If I look shaken up, even though I just had my head knocked off, the entire team becomes shaken up. Stop worrying and stand steadfast. Ooh, look at that.
And if you think about that as a quarterback, right? You don't know what's going to happen. The opponent makes decisions as well. And when you go up to start the play, you can prepare all you want for, hey, when they line up like this, this is what's going to happen. And then they don't. And if you're like, oh my God, they didn't do what they did, and you stand there like a deer in the headlights, you're likely the play's not going to go well. Definitely not going to go as planned. If you're like, they've adjusted. What do I need to do? How do I find my way through this challenge? And
I guess at that point, you're drawing on your knowledge, experience, and perspectives that you've already acquired.
Correct.
So really the biggest piece of preparation that gives you confidence is what you already know. Because you're drawing on that. So new information is being compared to old information. It's not the same, giving your analogy, oh, this play doesn't look the same as all the other plays I've seen them do, but it looks similar to this, or it's like this, or it's the opposite of this. So if we're acquiring knowledge, experience, and perspectives, and we're being conscious of that process, then we have a playbook that's far greater than the playbook for that game. It's the playbook that our whole life has led us through.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now I feel more confident. Honestly, I was really struggling with the idea that, I'm prepared for 10 o'clock, but what I'm realizing is the biggest part of preparation for our 10 o'clock presentation is all the other presentations I've given in my life, all the other times I've done something around a similar task.
Yeah, and the other things that we did as a specific preparation for this, we went and watched other people, how they did it. We've talked about it. We've walked through some of the things that we thought initially might make sense and modified it to what we now believe is where we're going to be. And so we spend our lives in preparation for our next action.
I think Edward agrees. That or he just got bingo. So
yeah. Yes.
Or he wants to sing B-I-N-G-O, B-I-N-G-O, B-I-N-G-O. Bingo was my name-o. I don't think that's it, but you never know.
I don't think so. I'm not. I don't believe so. So do you have a discovery of the week, Bob?
I think it's what I just said, that we draw on everything up to this point to give us the confidence that we can tackle a new situation however we best see in that moment. And that we may tackle it a certain way in this moment, but in 3 weeks, we might tackle the exact same situation differently because we'd have the experience of this time to layer on to the next time.
And it won't be the exact same situation.
Right.
Can't be.
Right. We've done 746 shows and not one has been like any other.
Correct. And no other one going forward will be like them, any that we've done. That's
and there are people out there going, thank goodness it's not going to be the same. It can only get better. I've hung in with these guys for 746 times. Maybe 747 is when it gets good.
All I'm going to say is it's going to be different.
It's good.
You know.
And what's your discovery
is a word
of the
I
week?
choose not to use.
Okay. What's your discovery of the week?
I think my discovery of the week, that this all boils down to being able to let go of results, at least in the moment, because I think it's the results that make us nervous and making us feel like we have to be prepared, which is the absolute, in my mind, incorrect feeling to have going into something. I like personally to be feeling a little, having a few nerves about it. And I never understood this. My boss used to say this to me when we would go into when I was doing fundraising and we would go visit donors or potential donors. He once said to me, if I don't have this little nervousness in my stomach about this visit, it usually doesn't go as well as I hope. And there's something about that feeling of a little bit of, and I think what I realize now, it was an understanding that things aren't going to necessarily go as planned. And if you understand that going in, you can find your way through it based on all of your past knowledge, experience, and perspective. And I again, no, I think just like at the start of the week, you couldn't believe that we didn't want to be prepared. I think a lot of people find it really hard to think about letting go of the results and just focus on taking the action.
Okay.
That's my discovery.
Wow.
Yes.
It's been a wild week. One of the more wild ones that we've been through.
Well, sometimes that happens.
That's it.
We never know
Well,
when that's
folks-
going to happen.
Well, folks, we've talked through it. I want to remind you one more time, 10 a.m. Eastern time today for our big announcement. And if you're catching this later, you can watch the replay, but you got to be in the Ring of Renegades Facebook group to see it. You're not going to want to miss it one way or another. So if you haven't joined that group, simple, search for Ring of Renegades on Facebook. Go there. We'll ask you a question or two. Boom, you're in, and you can see it and a whole bunch more.
Yes, absolutely. And while you're in the Ring of Renegades waiting for that to start, share your discoveries of the weeks. There'll be a post up that'll give you a chance to do that because we know that'll add value to others in the room. And while you're in there, surf around a little bit. You might find someone else's discovery that they're sharing, just the exact thing that you happen to be looking for. So we look forward to seeing you inside the Ring of Renegades and hopefully at 10 a.m. If not, we'll see you Monday, 7 a.m. Eastern time. That's the plan at the moment. Things could change. For our next episode of today's Antidote. Have a great day, everyone.
Hey, embrace the renegading you. It's so worth it. And have a great weekend.
Yes, indeed. Have a great weekend. All right, everyone.
See you at
Go out
10.
and make it a great day. We'll see you soon. Thanks for listening to today's Antidote, powered by the Renegade Success Network. The Renegade Success Network helps you confidently create your own unique pathway to success. To learn more about the Renegade Success Network and how you can take your next step, follow us on Twitter, connect on LinkedIn, or join the Ring of Renegades Facebook group. For full details on how you can join our community, go to renegadesuccessnetwork.com. Embrace the renegade in you.